This is Enlightenment and Nova again. This is going to be my Star Wars review over all the medium-sized action figures that I didn't already do reviews on. I'm going to do them by year so you can see the differences in the sculpt or the articulation, like evolution of that. So we have 1995, 96, 97, 98, and then we skipped 99 because I didn't collect any for Phantom Menace, and then 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, just him, 2007, and 2008. Starting with 95, we've got Han Solo, the one that came with Jabba from the Star Wars A New Hope Special Edition, the CGI Jabba that was in that. You could get this one loose with his standard gun, or you could get him with Jabba. So, basic articulation, head, waist, arms, legs, and that's it. And then we've got the classic Stormtrooper. A lot of mine are getting kind of yellow, but same articulation on him, waist, head, arms, and legs. They also made one that's the same body as him with a removable helmet, and then you remove it and it's Luke, and they made another one, you remove it and it's Han. You had to mail away to get those. So there's another one. And there's another one. Gotta have a bunch of them. And then there is Hoth Han Solo from Empire Strikes Back. Same basic articulation. This is like when they started getting real buff. The buff series, Power of the Force 2. And I think this is also 95, this R2, with the shiny head and the leg that comes out. He's really loose. He kind of gets worn out. Plus he's yellowing too. Okay, 1996, we've got Momaw Nadon, aka Hammerhead. He just has the basic articulation. His head doesn't really move. A lot of times if you find him loose, he won't have that cape. I always liked him, even though he's really buff looking. It goes with the alien cantina scene pretty well. And he has those neat feet, which you didn't see in the movie. You didn't see until like video games and stuff later that have this species. There is Tusken Raider, aka Sand People. Same basic articulation. He's got the pliable cape. He comes with his gaffy stick. And this is the second Tusken Raider I ever owned, other than the old 1980 one with the plastic cape. And then I have two of those, which is pretty cool. And then we've got Prince Xixor, or Xixor, however you say it, from the comic pack that came with him and Darth Vader, I think it was, which I don't have that Darth Vader anymore because I didn't like it, the real buff one from the Shadows of the Empire comics. I think he's pretty cool. He's a pretty good exception to the buff rule, even though he's not buff at all in the comic or anything, but he's really neat. He's a Falleen species. And I don't know if I already did a review over him, Greedo, the orange sherbet colored Greedo. He's pretty cool. He's got the long hands. He's my favorite Greedo, even after the new ones they made, because I didn't like them. I like him and like the 80s one. So there's him. Same basic. When I'm saying basic articulation, it's just swivel, neck, hips, arms, and then legs. Nothing really special there. We've got R5-D4, which is one of my favorite ones. That they kind of souped him up for some reason, which he does not have this stuff in the movie. He's got the two guns, non-removable guns that come off, and there's this little, I mean not come off, I mean come out. There's a little switch right there that can't do this one hand, I don't think, that he opens like that. You shoot the missile out, kind of like he does in A New Hope, but not really. There's him, R5-D4. 1997, what's left, not counting the bounty hunters and the Lukes and the Leias and stuff, because I already did those reviews. Here's the AT-ST driver for the Empire. So basic articulation, and watch out, they're all fixing to be really buff when it goes to 97. So there's him, there's this guy, which is just a generic bearded guy, Hoth Soldier, Rebel. He's pretty detailed. I never really liked him because of the pose. I'd rather have the newer ones, the newer generic ones. Yes, they did make him in the old one too. He's just some no-name bearded guy. I don't think he had an actual, like, human name. Here's this one. I don't have the box anymore, so I don't know if this is another generic one or if this is supposed to be Luke with the goggles on. He's got the backpack. Backpack comes off, too. And nothing real special about him. His gun doesn't come out because it's part of his leg. And I don't remember what weapons he came with. I need to find all the weapons, so a lot of these are just going to be the figure. And then we have this guy. These are all from Empire Strikes Back, except for that gunner guy. I'm not for sure. He's the Hoth Trooper for the Empire, or Snowtrooper. He's got that cape, which you can't really move his legs that good, but you still kind of can, so there's him. And then there's also the crouched version of him, so he can fire this gun, the gun that was never fired in the movie. This gun's in Shadows of the Empire, the game for the Nintendo 64. Yes, they do shoot you. No, there's not guys manning it in that game. And then there are also automatic guns in Star Wars Battlefront. 1998, the medical droid. I forgot his exact number. He's the medical droid that fixes Luke's hand after it gets chopped off. I think it's basic articulation here minus the waist, and his legs kinda, like, don't really move. They move like this, which I think that's really dumb. He goes with the Back to Luke set with the FX7, which I can't find right now. I'll do that later. He comes with this little thing. And Darth Vader, the best Darth Vader in my opinion. He has two capes. He's just kind of sitting there. He's not a very good action pose, but he's a good, like, standing by the bounty hunters type. He's swivel elbows, which actually do look good on this figure. He's just going to hug you with the Force until you die. He doesn't have any articulated knees, so it's pretty basic stuff still. This is 1998. They're getting where it's turning into swivel elbows. We've got Watto. I don't know why his sculpt is 1998 when the movie came out in 1999. I don't know. So his wings do come off in this little loop thing. I don't know why that's like in his skin, but that comes out too. And once you buy this Watto, you don't really have to buy any of the other ones, unless you want that one from the second movie when Anakin goes back to see him, when he has the beard and he's in the hat. Here's another R2, which is way better than the other one. He's got the jets when he squirts the oil on the ground and sets them on fire. He's got this thing. I don't have it. It's a little pincher thing comes out of his head. I'll show a picture of that. And I'm not really for sure what that's from. Okay, and in 2000 they made these guys, which look like the Emperor's Royal Guards, but the Emperor wasn't the Emperor yet, so they're just Coruscant or Senate Royal Guards. I forgot their exact name. You can post that in the comments. I just couldn't find it. But he looks really bad without his gun, and this arm actually comes off, and it's not supposed to. Articulation's limited to none. It's swivel elbow. Swivel elbow on this arm, and then swivel arms. Or rotating arms, but it looks really bad if you rotate it at all, because it's going to just be that drape. Like that, knock you out with it. So I don't really like him that much. Tusken Raiders, I have two of them, slightly different paint jobs. It's nice to have a bunch of these so you can have like a whole camp of them. So one came with the gun. These are just swivel elbow, swivel arm, swivel head, and waist. One came with the gun, and one came with this dog creature. I forgot his name, but his mouth opens. He's real rubbery. He's not articulated at all, but it's rubbery, and he's got little spines and a harness and a real chain that he can hold on to. And the worst figure ever of Darth Maul. Don't ever buy this one. Came in several repacks. Came out in 2000. Just look at him. Look how bad it is on the articulation. You have that. You've got this wrist going on here. I don't know, it just looks really retarded, and I'd like to have a way better Darth Maul than this. It's just hard to find him anywhere unless I'm just buying it online. I meant locally, it's hard to find him. 2001, probably some of the worst articulation characters came out of this too. Here's Mace Windu. He's also in that repack. I don't think he has that magnetic thing like Obi Wan does at the same pack, but basically that much legs move, which isn't that good. He's got a switch on his back where he can slash stuff like that, which looks really awkward and doesn't always work. So I would highly recommend not getting that. That's probably one of my worst figures. Not as bad as this one. This one's the worst. Obi-Wan. Switch on his back so he could do this, which looks really retarded. His elbows swivel, which is pointless, and he has this thing in his hand that's like magnetic for the magnetic lightsaber, and his feet move like that. Waist does not move, period. Head kind of moves. His face looks bad. I'm ranking this one of my worst figures. Here's the Padme. She's not that bad. Even though they all had that action thing going on, she had one of the Stap Droid's guns, and then you twist her like that and she shoots it. She has this real chain. She came with a pillar for the battle arena, which is the only one I have of the battle arena. Her and Anakin and Obi-Wan and those three creatures, the Reek and the Acklay and the other one. I forgot what it's called, that dog one. She's got the scratches on her back too. This is the only Padme I have. I would way like to have more, since she has like 80 outfits. I'd like to have at least one of each outfit, which is probably like 20 figures.